Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do an end of the year flip of my A5. This is really my everyday carry. I'm a one planner girl and I'm a teacher. So although a lot of people will be switching out their inserts for 2026, I use an academic year. So this planner houses everything from September of 2025 to August of 2026. But I figured I would just do a flip since I did switch covers and I switched out a lot of the deco. The reason that I switched out of my Vanderspec A5 Manager and back into my Louis Vuitton Monogram GM, that's the large size agenda, is because although this is an A5, it's a much more slimmer, compact model than the VDS, even though it is a 25 millimeter, so it does have a smaller back plate. There's a lot more leather on that planner. So I just wanted something a little slimmer for a while, and I was missing, honestly, my Louis Vuitton print. I love Louis Vuitton. I think it's my favorite designer. So I figured I would just do a flip for you, show you everything that has filled up since my last flip, because I do believe it was either September or October, so we do have 2 full more months in here, and I did switch out a lot of things, so I figured, why not, right? This is just my pencil case, so I'll move that out of the way, and we can open this up, and I'll get settled in to do the flip. Okay, so as you can see, the GM Agenda does have 30 millimeter gold rings. This is my sweet spot for sure. I know that VDS has 35 millimeter gold rings, but when you get those, the actual ring is thicker than these. So I had one, I want to say in 2021, and I sold it immediately. Not only was the 35 body too large for me, the girth of the rings was thicker and it made my pages harder to turn. So this is just really my sweet spot. I can chunk it up, but it still fits everything the way that I want it to. So on this side, I just have something in this pocket that I have to do. I had a doctor's appointment the other day and I switched doctors, so I need to call them, my old doctor, and have them send records over to the new one. In this secretarial pocket, I just have this postcard from Baumkuchen, and it says, "Embrace the stillness." So I like that little message just peeking out. This is from May Paper Co. M-A-A-E is how you spell May. There's a lot of things from May Paper Co. from Australia, as you'll see when we get there, and that's spelled M-A-Y, but this is from M-A-A-E. I get it on Etsy. This is from Cloth and Paper, and then this is my If Found card. I turned it sideways so that you can't see any of my information, but that is from Stylish and Minimal Co. And then these jelly pockets are either from Cloth and Paper or May Paper Co. I have a mix of both in here. So these vellum cards are from a set of 3 from Cloth and Paper. These are my 2 favorites. I left the other one out. And this is from Planner Press, and this is from Planner Press. As you can see, like I said, I love the Louis Vuitton print. So Cut Me and I Bleed Louis Vuitton, and then Black Mono Nude Repeat. I just like that when I open my planner. I love that deco look. And layering. So this is May Paper Co. from Australia, M-A-Y for May Paper Co. And this is my absolute favorite piece of deco in my entire planner. I think I said it in my last video. I had one of these. It's a freebie. When you order from her, you get one of these envelopes. I think the new one says ephemera on it. But you would get one of these envelopes and she would stick your receipt in there and like a little business card, and I ruined the one that I had, and I wrote to her and said, can I please purchase some from you? And she let me. So she let me purchase a couple of these. So I hole punched this one and stuck it in my planner. I like how it looks behind there. Okay, so then my dividers are from Lines Plus Paper. They're frosted and they're nice and thin so they don't bulk up my planner. I do wish that she made the A5 ones in a low profile. I think only Personal and maybe it was A6. She only has 2 models that come in low profile, but A5 wasn't one of them. So I customized what's written on the sides. All of my dividers are from her, including the top and the bottom, as you'll see. So this is the inbox section. This is a freebie that I printed from Brown Plans on Instagram on vellum. This I made on Canva, and I just put page flags from Cloth and Paper on here. This is printed on linen paper. These are cloth and paper sticky notes, and then this is Paper Test Designs sticky note template on each of those. And then here's my inbox. This is from Simple and Trendy Co. It's just a simple task list, and I do pretty much follow everything that's up there. I don't delegate anything, but this is for tasks that take longer than 1 week. So like I have to print our Q2 assessments, but it's not due until January 14th. So I put that in there, and I have almost well, let's see. When I put it in there, I think I had a month to do it. So I'll check that off when it's done. I just have 2 of those in there. And then here, again, you can see how I like layering. This was a freebie from Cloth and Paper. It is their Olay transparent stickers. So I hole punch them and put it on top of this jelly dashboard. This one's from May Paper Co. It has her embossing on there. And then in here, I have another library card from the other May Paper Co. These were from Cloth and Paper transparent stickers, more Cloth and Paper transparent stickers on top of, that's from May Paper Co. It was a freebie on vellum. It just says breathe, and then another deco card from Cloth and Paper. I love the layering effect of that. So here's my monthly section. This was from Maria Plans, I believe. I was a member of her Patreon, and then she closed, so I just used this image in Canva, blew it up because I think it was in personal when I purchased it, and turned it into a dashboard on vellum. This I made on Canva and printed on linen paper. Sticky notes from Cloth and Paper and May Paper Co. This is from a shop on Etsy, but I can't remember the name. I think I forgot that last time also. I apologize, but I have the 2025 and the 2026 year at a glance here, and I marked them off with sticky tabs from Stylish and Minimal Co. for 05 for 2025, 06 for 2026. So I have the year at a glance for the first part of my academic school year. This, I purchased artwork on Etsy and uploaded it to Canva and printed it on vellum. These inserts for my monthlies are from Rose and Mist. So it's a month on one page with these tables down below here, but then on this page it was kind of like, I use it as a future planning section, really. I write everything on this side, and then the week before the month starts, I transfer it over here and I color code with these dots. You'll see that when we get to my weekly section, and I use these icon stickers to signify different things. This is when trash pickup comes. It's not always the same day for me. My daughter was a cheerleader, so when she cheered at a football game, I marked that down. We go to all of her home games, paydays, and when I would clean my house. And then I had to take a certain medication every so many weeks, so that's there. All those icons are from Papery Planning, along with the dots. So I write everything over here and then transfer it over here the week before. It just is easier and cleaner for me that way. Again, I did the same thing here. If you notice, these 2 dates, the 7th and then the 14th to the 16th, were already fully booked. So I wrote things down on page flags from Cloth and Paper and put them down here just because I couldn't fit any more than 2 events for those dates. These are in the color Beignet and Olay. So this was November. This page flag is Champagne was the color. And now we're in the last week of December. Today is the 28th. It's Sunday. So, the only other thing that I think I should mention, these stickers I'm using to signify that something was rescheduled. So I had an instructional leadership team meeting that was scheduled originally for the 3rd, and it got moved to the 24th. So I didn't have room to write that here. So I put it here. Okay. That's it for December. There is a future log here on the back of the Rose and Mist printouts. This is the 2026 year at a glance. Again, artwork that I purchased from Etsy, printed on vellum. Here's the 2026 monthlies. And January is where this stops, since we're in the last week of the month of December. I planned for January, but nothing else is planned except for the future section. So this is what it's looking like so far. I don't know when I'm going to clean, and I'm not sure of when I'm taking my medication yet, so those icons will be added later. So the rest of the months, only the future section has anything filled out. Just giving you a little glance at what the rest of the months look like. These will fill up once I get my daughter's marching band schedule. And then that's that. I do have the entire year of these, but I won't print out September through December until we get into August and I set up for my next school year. This one I believe is from, actually I'm not sure if this was from May Paper Co. It can't be from Cloth and Paper because it has this slit. Oh, this one is from And Paper Co. Yep, I remember they were the only place that had the bigger pocket on the bottom and then the 2 business card pockets. So this is a very old card from Salty 22. This was a freebie from Stylish and Minimal Co. This is a card from Cloth and Paper, and then their tortoise shell transparent stickers. Tortoise is one of my favorite patterns. And this is an ollie clip. This really just holds this card in here because it likes to move. This is my weekly tab. This was a freebie on Canva. I printed on vellum. Another one from Canva that I printed on linen paper. And then here is my color coding key. So the cocoa colored dots signify a work event. The nude, if we have like time off from work. The chiffon is if we have an appointment. The sepia is if there's an occasion like a birthday, a holiday, an anniversary. And then the rose clay is for my daughter. These are both Cloth and Paper sticky notes. And then all of my weeklies are from Crefective Paper. So I printed from September of this year until August of next year. I have the entire year in here. Let's see where it ends. It's this thick. I don't think that's too bad for an entire year. A week on one page. So it's set up where you can do priorities on the left and then a to-do list. And then there is basically like a Hobonichi style, I guess. So I use the color coding dots to mark off the date of the corresponding event. And then I do use scripts from Papery Planning for things like no school, meetings, if an event is canceled, sick day, personal day, and paydays. I think those are all the scripts that I have. So I guess I'll just flip you through quickly. These are what all of the events are looking like so far for the year. I have a bunch more filled out than I did in my last video. I am using a Pilot Friction pen, which is an erasable pen, so I don't have crossouts in my planner. And then this, oh, I guess I should have said, I mark the current month with a top tab from Lines Plus Paper. This top tab marks the current week, and I have these transparent sticky notes from Cloth and Paper. This is anything that I need to bring to work. And then this is, I am department chair of the English department in our school, so I write down when my department has AIS collaborative planning time in case I need to go to any of those meetings. And then this is our current week. This is the day that we're on right now. And then this is next week. So as you'll see, I use a lot of page flags. I think Maddie Plans may have been the one that started the task card idea. I don't really put them on cards. I do use them in my planner. So these I move from week to week. When trash pickup is, when payday is, when I have to take my medication, when there's a faculty meeting, my daughter stays after for flute, and when I have a department chair meeting. My daughter has 2 friends coming over on Monday, but I don't know what time, so the time isn't written down there. But as you can see, I use those script stickers. And then I do write priorities and to-dos in that I know I have to do ahead of time if I know of them. It's when menstrual cycle is expected and department meeting. I think that's it for page flags. So the rest of the year is blank. And then I have bottom tabs that just say numbers 1, 2, and 3. This number 1 is for dailies. I hardly ever use dailies, only if I have conference days where my schedule is different than it typically is. So on conference days, my normal schedule is 7:45 to 2:45. And on conference days, it's 8 to 3 o'clock, and there are many different events. So I use these dailies from Infinite Lotus. Everything in here, just so you know, all of my inserts are printables, except I have, I think, a half-page task list from Cloth and Paper that I'll show you. It's the only thing that's pre-printed. Everything else I print myself. So I just use a date stamp up here, and then I use a highlighter sticker from Papery Planning. This was for September 2nd for our first conference day. So I wrote down our schedule. This page flag I signified when I had to be, we were in the auditorium this entire time. It was a long day for legal updates and mandatory trainings. This was the to-do list for the first day of school, things that I had to remember to print and make copies of. And then this was the second conference day. I didn't have to be anywhere specific most of the time. Most of it was time in our classrooms, and then the to-do list, and then I did have a meeting with a member of staff and the assistant superintendent and stuff like that. So I think I have 3 dailies in here. Oh, okay, I have 5 just in case I need them. This one is from May Paper Co. for business card holder, and I keep my page flags in here. Champagne and beignet are 2 of my favorite colors. Olay is my 3rd favorite color, and you'll see that comes up later. I like how the 3 of them look together. So this is the notes tab. This was another freebie from Brown Plans that I printed on vellum. This is from Canva, and I added my own quote from House of Leaves at the bottom, one of my favorite books. And these are sticky notes from Cloth and Paper. And then I use, this is from Infinite Lotus, these notes pages you can mark, and I use a Zig clean color dot marker to mark the day of the week, the month, and the date of when any of these meetings or appointments happened. These were some meetings for my daughter. These were meetings at work or professional development that I took notes for. And this is mainly the reason that I have to have an A5 this school year. I'm in a lot more meetings and professional development now that I took on the role of department chair. So I need to keep these notes with me for the school year. And that's where we are today. So I do have some extras. I have a today top marker here to mark where the new, the clean meeting notes page would be. And then I have this bottom tab, number 2, marking where personal notes go. So as I said, this is the only personal or the only printed paper that I have in here. This came from Cloth and Paper. It's the task sheets. And I figured in case I needed an extra amount of room for a to-do list, I have this half page here. I'm not going to show you that page, but I'll turn here. This is a freebie from Ash Plans on Instagram, these notes pages. So I have a few of them in here. And then this is the front to a set from Cloth and Paper that came in the subscription box for, I believe, the month of December. And I just like how it looks layered over this. I didn't use the cardstock part of the set. So this is from May Paper Co., this 2-pocket one. I have an old collab sticker sheet from Papery Planning in here with Cloth and Paper transparent stickers on top. An editor's note card from Cloth and Paper with, again, transparent stickers on top. I love the layering look. Green is my favorite color, so I just used, these are Post-it note sticky tabs, and I hole punched them and stuck them on the back of this envelope so that I'm not hole punching the envelope directly, and I can use it again. Say I want to switch planner sizes, which I do sometimes, so it doesn't ruin the envelope. This is the personal section. Another freebie from Brown Plans, printed on vellum. This is from Canva, printed on linen paper. This is the key for my personal section. So I use these mini dots from Papery Planning to signify, because I do have migraines. When I've had a headache, a migraine, my daughter's menstrual cycle, I have PCOS, so I no longer have a menstrual cycle. When she or I are absent from school, when I take my medication, and now I have started having silent migraines or just migraines with aura where I have no pain, but I don't know how to describe it. It's basically like bright flashes that inhibit my vision. So I've started keeping track of that. And I like this sticky note from Cloth and Paper. I was going to start keeping track of when I'm reading. This is one of their page flags. So this is an attendance sheet from Infinite Lotus. This marks sick days for myself, and on the back, sick days for my daughter. This is a habit tracker, but I'm not using it to track habits. I'm tracking all of his other things. So the first week of school, I always have a headache every single day. Medication, migraines, and then my first migraine, silent migraine, was right there, the one with Aura. So I can't show you the next few pages because they are all medication, prescription trackers. And then, oh, I think I stuck this. Okay. So this is typically marking the first page of my password so I can flip to my password page quickly, but I didn't want you to see my password, so I stuck it back here. I use the password trackers from Infinite Lotus, and this, like I said, marks where my passwords are. This is from Cloth and Paper, and I just put a bunch of their page flags here if I need them. This is a for business card holder. This one is from Cloth and Paper with the other color that I like, Olay. And then this card is from Stylish and Minimal Co. And this one, I think it was from Papery Planning a long time ago. Yeah. My finance section, this was from Canva, printed on vellum. From Canva, printed on linen paper. And then I just stuck one of those page flags from Cloth and Paper there. I like how it looks with the layering. Now, can I show you? Yes, I marked things off. Okay, so I can show you this. I covered it with a white sticky note. So I used this yearly budget tracker from Infinite Lotus just to mark my paydays. So this is the school year for 2025, for 2026, and then I write down how much I get paid. Sometimes there are 3 paychecks, so that's why I have 2 columns, 2 paychecks per month, and then here's a third. And yeah, you can see this. This is fine. So these are days that I put in claim forms for having covered 10 classes. There's a teacher and a substitute shortage. So every time we cover a class, we get paid extra. So when I've covered 10 classes, I can submit a claim form to get paid for that. This is all of the hours after school that I spend as a department chair. Anything that I do, I will get paid extra for, up to 6 hours a week. So this is from Infinite Lotus, the income log. So I write down the day that I've done it, the hours, and what the topic was, what I was spending my time doing, and how many hours it is. And then I highlight at the end of each month how much time I'm submitting for a claim form. So the bottom number 3 tab brings me to my order tracker. So this is all orders relating to stationery. This is on a Simple and Trendy Co. printout. This is BST sales of any planner related things. And I just have a couple of extras in here. I did have a Christmas spending tracker in here, but Christmas is over, so I've thrown that out. And now this is one of my favorite spots in my planner. Like I said, I love layering. So this is from Cloth and Paper. It's like an affirmation half dashboard, and I think you can write on it with dry erase or wet erase markers. But I like how it looks layered over. These were freebies from Cloth and Paper. And then this is a frosted pocket. I believe it came in a set on Amazon, an A5 set. And it allows you to put bigger cards than just business size cards. So this is an old Cloth and Paper card. This was from Wild House Paper. This was from Paper Panda, and then this was from Cloth and Paper. Here's another one of those envelopes that I did the same thing with, the Post-it sticky notes, and inside I have my absolute favorite sticker from Redbubble. If you've watched any of my other videos where I was in book-bound planners, this was in the front of every single one of my book-bound planners because peonies are my favorite flower. Oh, and I screwed it up. In the back, I have another one of those Cloth and Paper, like fingerprint transparent stickers. I just think it looks really cool coming out the back there. This is the bag that comes wrapped around your order from Cloth and Paper, and I chopped it up and turned it into a dashboard for A5. This is the crosshatch dashboard, and on the front I just stuck one of those big reed sticky notes with the James Baldwin quote. I like how that looks layered behind all of this. And then I love that this is the back of my planner, the crosshatch. I just think it looks really cool. All of my stickers are in this frosted zip pocket from Amazon. It came in the set with that 4-pocket frosted one, and it also came with 2 page lifters, but I don't use those page lifters. I use one from May Paper Co. But these are all of the stickers that I use in my planner, and I believe every single one is from Papery Planning. So here's my May Paper Co. page lifter. This was an adhesive vellum pocket from the newest Cloth and Paper sub box, and I put all the icons that I use paper clipped in here from Papery Planning. So the back of the Louis Vuitton has a full height slip pocket, not a secretarial pocket. This is where I keep a printout of my school schedule, my daughter's school schedule. And then here I have this old Cloth and Paper thank you card. And this is from For the Planner Girls, one of her freebies I printed on linen paper. And I think that's it, guys. So for right now, this is where I'm staying. I'm going to stay in my Louis Vuitton. Maybe I'll switch into my Damier Ebene if I get bored, but I think for now, simple and compact is better for me, and this is how I'm going to go into the new year. I typically don't link shops in my videos. This is really a hobby for me, and it's just something that's fun. So as you noticed, I don't edit any of my videos either. I film and upload, so I'll try to write back to anyone that does write me a comment asking specifically where something is from. I'm usually pretty good at getting back to comments. But like I said, this is just a hobby, and it's just really something that I enjoy doing. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a great new year and you enjoy setting up your 2026 planner. Bye, guys.